What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige with the Page, and this is the start of a new vlog. Today we're going to be starting this vlog, which is finishing the last book in 3 trilogies. So I am going to record my thoughts as we go, mostly because the first one on this list is Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee, and we're going to be reading this for BookStara. And the live show for this is on the 22nd. Is that right? Have I done my math? Oh god, did I fuck up my math? So I need to get this done, and I'm just going to start with that and then go into the other books that I have to read. So we will be reading first and foremost Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee, then I think I'll switch to Shadow Glass by Rin Chupeco and finish off with Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. This is going to be a spoiler-filled vlog. Obviously, it's very niche, so I don't think many people will watch all of it. I have mathed it out that to finish this on June 30th, I need to read 95 pages a day of these. But I also have to finish these 2 books before the 21st to be able to get, or on the 21st, to be able to get a particular bookie book. So I need to read 55 pages from these a day as well. Because I have the physical copies, I have sectioned these out with tabs, but because the 3 trilogy books are all digital versions, I can't section it out the same way, which is really hard for me to deal. I am going to ask Ash to order in Jade Legacy from his work tomorrow, so hopefully that will arrive pretty quickly. And then the Shadow Glass and Empire of Gold I'm not too fussed on, but I want Jade Legacy for BookStara to be able to pull and see where I'm actually up to. But what I have done is gone through and made the percentage breakdown of them, so when I'm on the digital or audiobook version, I can know the decent percentage of where I should be aiming for to make it a bit easier on myself. So it is currently the 10th of June. We had today off and I made some progress in the Amazing Readathon, which is also happening, which has not been factored into these daily pages as well. So yeah, I need to get my ass into gear and get my read on. I think it's going to be doable. I think it's just this initial day of going, oh my god, and then getting into the rhythm of actually picking them up and getting through them, because if I read more than 13% today, that's fine. It is also 7 p.m. and I need to shower and wash my hair. Since having it done on the weekend, there's still just like little bits that are still very dry, and so I just want to wash it, but that is a process because I'm going to look like a Smurf post. So I thought I'd film this intro clip and then we'll go from there. So I think I will probably not include my thoughts, but include, if I remember, B-roll footage of me reading these, and I will be starting with Darling and then going to The Girl in the Tower. And I'm praying that these will work for Amazing Readathon prompts and I not be 50% of the way through it when they drop. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's basically it for the moment. I am also reading Tooth and Claw by Joe Walton, which is a Regency period with dragons, and at the moment it's very interesting, so we'll see how that all shapes up. But I just wanted to get this started so I can get my read on and have some fun. I will also show you my cross stitch when I'm back out there, because I've taken that up when I got pneumonia and I'm really enjoying it, and it's great to listen to an audiobook while going along with that. For the 95 pages of Jade Legacy, I will probably just read that as best I can via immersion reading. So I'm gonna purchase the ebook for the moment, so then I can see where I'm up to and actually take notes and contribute in the Discord as well. And then when I'm listening to Darling or my Amazing Readathon book, then I will be okay to work on my cross stitch. So I think that's the plan, and also because I want to be able to check in with y'all as we go, that's sort of where I'm leaning. So I think the Discord is broken up into every 3 chapters, so I'll probably do the same and come in and just say my thoughts, which is kind of cool because I never remember to actually comment. I just go through and read everyone's, so I might actually be slightly more involved in the community discussion before the live show. But with that, I've got to go get my shower on so I can get my reading on, and I will check in with you when I have an update. Bye! I also have to edit my book haul to go up for tomorrow. Time, it's a thing I'm good at. Hello my darlings. She is showered, her hair is once again fluffy, and I have done it. It is now 20 to midnight, so I need to go to sleep, but I ended up getting through the the pages of Darling I Needed To and the pages of Jade Legacy. I love that we started the first chapter of Jade Legacy with the most annoying character known to man, and I literally hurt my eyeballs rolling them straight out of the gate. It is really hard because, like, I don't want to talk too heavily on the spoilers, but obviously you can't not. I ended up reading from chapter 1 to the beginning of chapter 9. It's really funny watching everyone in the Discord and being able to go through those, and the way that they navigate these different political challenges is quite interesting. But I don't know, I'm still on the back foot at the moment. Hilo is one of our main characters, and I have always advocated that he is a misogynistic pig and an absolute dick, and everyone's like, no, we love Hilo, and he continues to be a misogynistic piece of shit. And just, there are so many things that he's doing. Like, he's going to a really lovely establishment and just uses the women like they're cheap whores, and he says that. He's like, I'm paying for these whores, and it's just like, come on dude, I know you have a wife and kids, so you do get the how's your day honey from at home, but you know, you could at least treat the women with some kind of baseline decent courtesy. No? Okay. Oh, and you're just gonna kill someone and slash their throat? Love that. Even though your sister's explicitly told you not to? Yeah, cool. You dick. My high opinion of Hilo really still stands firm, and it's quite funny because Amy called me out on it in the Discord, being like, Hilo's really trying to make sure the page is proving a point. I'm like, yes he is. Oh, there's a character got injured at the end of the last book, and we're watching them recover. They had died, and one of the kids managed to bring them back, but consequently her words are stilted. She had to learn how to walk and talk and all of that from scratch, and so she's still not fully recovered, even though this is set 6 years after the events of Jade War. And so it's watching her really struggle when she is such a articulate and really determined person, but because of her determination you can see she's adamant about getting better. So it's cool, but also her husband is Hilo and he's a fucking dick. I'm like, come on girl, you deserve better. So navigating the Lantern Man situation as well as the anarchists and them wanting to take down the clans, I think is going to be really interesting on how that plays out. Unfortunately, we have to see it from the perspective of my least favorite character, which isn't Hilo, but they ain't far between one another. And it's just like, come on, this guy is just a cockroach. Do we have to experience it from his perspective? Yeah, okay, that's unfortunate. So that's currently where I'm up to, and I don't know how this is gonna go. I think Fond du Lis has a lot of twists and turns up her sleeve, and I am excited to see how it shapes up. And then with Darling, I know that this is not really part of the blog, but I'm still very confused by it, so I don't know how I'm feeling about that. But anyway, I am gonna go write in my journals and go the fuck to sleep, and I'll check in with you tomorrow. Pray for me. Hello my darlings. It is now 8:35 on the 11th, and apologies if you hear my toilet start screaming at you while I'm talking. Ash isn't home and I don't know how to make it stop. So if that happens, just know I'm in pain. I'm home. I will be going back out to pick him up and go to Coles and do a food shop, but I'm gonna edit, and then hopefully once we are back home, I will be able to just dive into my reading for today. I haven't started on it, so hopefully I can do it quick. Today was a day at work, and I'm always like, I don't want to start these vlogs off negatively. The heat is also directly above this, so apologies if there's any weird sounds. But yeah, it's been a day. So can't tell if the hair's reflecting that or not. Everyone loved it, which was hilarious. They're like, oh my god! And so I now have a running tally of characters that people think I am. Although one of my favorite clients was just like, well, you're you with blue hair. You're not anyone else. And I was like, oh my god, bless you. It's quite funny and I'm really enjoying that. So I'm gonna dive into this. I don't think I'll be able to get it done before Ash gets home, but I will be able to at least make some headway. And then I'll be able to dive into reading. I'll check in with you hopefully when I sit down to read, but I may. Bye! Hello my darlings. It is now 20 past 11 and Ash and I are going to bed, but I got my pages in. I did not get any more of my Amazing Readathon book read, but I got my darling pages in and Jade Legacy. You're so pretty. TVs. Again, still not sure how I'm feeling about Darling, but I'm liking the twist and turnies. And Bert and I did dice sprints on the Whodunit Readathon Discord, which was great. So, oh my god, so much happened in the sections that I read. I think I started on chapter 9 and then I've finished on chapter 17. I don't think I've read chapter 17. No, okay, cool. And oh my god, damn. I can't really remember much about chapter 9. And then the relationship that ended and the way that the character absolutely sucked it to one of our protagonists, Shay, was just fabulous. So basically she turns up to Shay's office and she's like, I'm divorcing my husband because I know that he's in love with you and he's too much of a coward to do the right thing. I don't deserve to be treated like this. And I was just like, fuck yes. And then Shay was like, is there anything I can do for you? And she's turned back around slowly and said, you can fuck off and die. I was just like, oh. So I don't know if this is going to come back to bite us because the divorce was finalized and then Shay and this guy get married because Hilo puts his foot in it. Thanks, Hilo. So yeah, it was very interesting in seeing that development, but I liked them and I didn't like the cheating component, so obviously I'm happy that they've got a divorce. Kaya can now go on and, you know, live her life and not be in this shadow because the love interest has always been in love with Shay. And it's hard because we read earlier that she miscarried multiple times and it's like, oh, my soul. With it being Jade Legacy, I'm curious to see how that shapes up. And then we also found the person is giving half stone eye babies jade powder and SM1, like a drug, so they can be used as a military weapon. It was like nuts. I don't understand that in its entirety, but I'm sure it will be explained further. And then who else do we have? Oh my god. So my heart was broken for Tar, him going off the rails, and I don't know. So he's now, I'm nervous about how Tar is gonna go. So Hilo should have killed him. That was the responsibility for the actions that had happened, and he didn't. He exiled him. And so I'm like, but this guy's going nuts. Like, he's just killed his fiance in a fit of rage because she was gonna leave him. So it's like, broski, exile, not the right choice, I don't think. But also, like, I understand you can't kill him, he's like a brother to you. But also, like, I don't know. And then one redeeming grace for Hilo was how he treated the kids. And when talking about what happened with Nico's mum, he sits Nico down and says, hey, we didn't tell you this earlier because, you know, you wouldn't have been able to comprehend it, but now I know that you're wise and you're able to, so here's the story. Also, I'm gonna make myself look better than I actually was because I was a dick about this. But anyway, and that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving Andon's perspectives, as per usual. All of us just love Andon, and I'm so scared he's gonna die by the end of this. It is going to hurt me. I'm not anywhere emotionally prepared for this at all. So I'm curious to see how the medicine gets further explored at the moment because I'm really enjoying that, as well as like the relationship between Lot and Andon, considering, you know, they didn't always get along. And then, holy mother of sweet lord. So the snippet before was when I got to the final, I think it was chapter 16 that I was reading, and the last chapter for the night. And oh my lord, the way that Andon just handled this guy. So basically he's in buttfuck nowhere and the two clans are warning this particular town. And so you have to talk to this not favorable person. And the guy like whips out his cock being like, the other guys can't offer me a handsome man like yourself, so suck me off. And then just the way Andon handled that situation, just ha ha ha. Ah, my little cinnamon bun. But I'm so scared for him. I'm so scared. It is going to be very interesting seeing how this all develops. So that's my thoughts on chapter 9 through to 16 of Jade Legacy, which I got done tonight, which makes me pretty happy. I am working over the weekend, so I don't know how much time I'm going to have on Saturday for reading, but I would really like to continue making some decent headway because I'm gonna fall behind in Amazing Readathon with having to work, obviously, and it's face-off weekend, and then Brain has malfunctioned. So Mum's gonna be coming up on the 17th, and I don't read when she's here, so I need to. Although I do feel like I've got the dates wrong, and BookStara is actually the 29th. Let me double check that. Not the 22nd, which gives me a little bit more breathing room. Oh yep, cool, I got the dates wrong. Excellent. I had it in my calendar wrong. So I don't have to finish this until the 28th, the 29th, which is excellent. That has really just unstressed me significantly. Beautiful. So that is marvelous. So I'm now laughing at the fact that I probably should have done one of the other books this week, not Jade Legacy, but that's okay. I would like to have it done so then it's at least in my noggin. And then the other ones I can just try and be speed demon. So that's where I'm currently at, and I need to go the fuck to sleep, so I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, my elbow. Shit. Hello my darlings. It is now 5:45 on the 12th of June, and I will be heading back out to pick up Ash shortly, but I got an exciting notification that Jade Legacy is in for me to collect at the library. So I'm gonna have the physical book back, which is very exciting. I have been reading it on the Kindle, but it's just, I don't know, something about it makes it so much easier for my brain to compute when I'm reading along physically. I love ebooks and I love how accessible they make it for everyone, but it's just one of those things that personally for me, my eyes don't get as tired. Ash has just messaged. He is going to be out at 6, so I am going to go to the library and pick up Jade Legacy and then go and get bread, so I might as well just do that now because it's only 14 minutes and I need to drive, park, da 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 da. So I'm going to do that and check back in with you once I'm home. Bye! Someone died. No.
It's finally the person that you hate that everyone loves.
Yeah!
Yay!
I think we haven't actually seen the body yet.
God damn it.
But it was like...
pretty fucking explicit in detail.
Yeah.
It fills me with so much joy.
And then my heart's going out to Shay because her husband was there acting as weatherman, which was her position, but she just had a baby.
Oh!
So she was on maternity, well, she was actually on sick leave. My battery's gonna die, but oh lordy! So I've read my pages for Darling and for Jade War, and it is so nice having the physical book. So loving it. Holy mother of sweet lord, as you would have heard me talk to Asha earlier, she went down. She went down. And my god, there was just, I can't even begin to compute the amount of things that happened in this section that I read. I love when she's amazing. She's recovering from the end of Jade War, which is awesome. And Porsche. Battery's dying. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, my darlings. It is now 5:25 on the 13th. Yes, Thursday the 13th of June. And I need to get my reading on. We got the next prompt drop for the Amazing Readathon and our team is coming in last. So we need to do a bonus challenge, which has been a poll pick. So I put it on the Sufferathon Discord because, you know, I'll give them the opportunity to make me suffer. There were 2 emojis that were good emojis and 2 emojis that were bad emojis. And whilst the first vote was for the book that would have hurt me deeply to win, at the moment it looks like one that I really want to win is winning. So I really want to read so I can get to that to then read that book before the face-off weekend. So I don't know what to do. Currently it's 9 votes for the mushroom, 5 votes for the snow, and is that a flower or a daisy? Anyway, a flower, and then 1 vote for the fern. So, and they're all representative of different books. This is going to come out later. So the snow is for The Girl in the Tower, which I would stop reading Darling and dive straight into that, well, once I finish Tooth and Claw, because that is one of my other retellings that I need done by the 21st. So that was a yay, and that's because it's got snow on the cover. And then Empire of Gold is a very gold book, and it has like ferny fronds coming to the side, but I couldn't find a nice looking fern, so I decided to go with the yellow for the gold, and that was the first vote. It's this thick though, and still in the middle of this, and just not ideal to have to speed demon read that. So thank God that's not winning. And then the fern was the other one, and that's actually on the Iron King, which is a Zoe from Book Reviews with Zoe's Bookish Peeps pick for me to read 6 books in that series. Yeah, 6 books in that series, and I haven't even started the first one, so I need to make progress on it, but I don't want to do it right now. So that was the other like and the other one is 9 votes for the mushroom, and that's What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. Do I need to start another series? Absolutely not. Do I really want to start this because I love T. Kingfisher? Absolutely. I want to get through Tooth and Claw to be able to dive into What Moves the Dead, and I don't think it's going to be possible to get through all of this and What Moves the Dead before Saturday, I think. I'm not sure when kickoff starts for Aussies. I might quickly look at Bree's scheduled lives. 32 hours. I have 32 hours to read that and Kingfisher and work. And I still want to stay on top of these because with my mother coming up, I can't fall behind. So yes, thank God the Sufferathon people are working in my favor, which surprises me greatly because, you know, chaos. But no chaos today, so that will be nice. I really want to watch YouTube, but Ash is due for collection in about half an hour, but he might not actually need me to go and get him tonight. So it could be him just walking home and then him making dinner. So it is a very much I can just get my read on. So we're gonna do what we can. And I don't know, actually, let's get the spinner wheel to tell me where I should start. Logically, it should be Tooth and Claw, but cross stitch, that's not helpful. Let's go again. vlog. Okay, Jade Legacy. That is fair. I need to read. It looks less intimidating. Oh my god, that's still extremely intimidating. Chapter 28 to 7 chapters, 97 pages. I can do this. I am a boss ass bitch that really just wants to watch YouTube, and I have no idea where I have now put my headphones. But that's okay. I'm gonna quickly have a look in the Discord and just see if there is anything that I should be filming for. Think I should be okay. Yeah, to not have to film all of it. My battery will not survive that, so that's good fun. But is on the Whodunit Discord, and so we're gonna sprint together, which will be lovely, and I'll get my reading on. I'm very curious as to where Amy is up to. I might message her. What's the time in America? I won't message her. It's 12:30 in the morning. I know she'll get my message when she wakes up, but Let's find my headphones and see what the dice gods say. I didn't even have a cup of tea. Look at me. I'm putting the kettle on. I deserve a cup. Although if I do, I should just say I'm correct. Hello my darlings. It is now 11 o'clock and I'm going to bed, and it's before midnight, which is amazing. I read my section of Jade Legacy. Sweet lordy, many a thing is happening and I just am in shock. So the way that this is progressing is so startling but so amazing. I do find it interesting just how much we're skipping through the years and the way that they've chosen to do the time jumps, because in the previous two we haven't had that at all. So that just blows my mind. Then the way that Miko is currently, oh my god, so nerve-wracking. And just so many different things are constantly on the go. The mixture of the different countries, it's all just happening. But the one thing that I'm really adoring is seeing the progression of technology throughout this entire thing. So they've gone from payphones to having more mobiles and TVs and things, and it's just interesting seeing that incorporation of technology. And it feels very accurate to our world and how it's progressed. So yeah, there's so much to take in. I think I was very fortunate I didn't have too many chapters with the cockroach in this, which is nice, but we have replaced him with another dickhead, so that's great. Love that for us. But yeah, I can't believe how much I've got through and just chipping away at it. It does feel slow. The pacing of this doesn't feel quite right to me, because I feel like every night I'm listening to it and I'm like, this is just taking so long to get to. And whilst we're jumping years, so things are happening, they're not actively present. So that's just a wee bit interesting. And then I read, I think it was only like, yeah, I ended up reading about 40 pages of Tooth and Claw. And I just don't know, I'm not sure about this one. I'm gonna keep going with it, but it just feels very stuffy. It feels very pompous old men. And that's not really my vibe. So I'm gonna keep going with it and see where it happens. I should know in and of myself, just because something is fantasy, if it's described as Pride and Prejudice or the historical, similar to Bridgerton, that sort of Regency era, I don't give a shit. So it's literally like dragons talking about inheritance and being pompous dicks, and women suffering and not being able to make a name for themselves because patriarchy, so, you know. So I'm gonna give it more of a chance, because I think I didn't know what to expect going in, and now that I'm having a better understanding, I think I just gotta give it time, because a booktuber that I really admire, who is definitely more into historical fiction and all of that than I am, they adored this, and I want to see why. And so far, I'm I'm not sure. It has been years since I've heard their review, so maybe my expectations have just, you know, become so fuzzy that I don't know. But I wanted to finish this tonight, and I read 40 pages, you know, only 240 to go in an hour. Totally doable. How fast can I put Audible speed? The reason I didn't end up getting to more of this is because I finished Darling by Kay Ancrum. Motherfuck, Kay Ancrum just hits for me. I know this has a low rating. I know that not everyone's going to enjoy this, but I am so close to giving this a 5 stars. I will give it a 5 stars on Goodreads and round it up because, but also, like, I understand why it has a low rating. It just, I loved it. I loved the darkness of it. I loved all of the representation in it. It just hit everything I needed, and it was fast paced. So in comparison to these two, I was like, I am captivated, I am enthralled, I need this story now. And so I kept reading it, and I finished it. It was glorious. My bad, but also, thank God, my brain needed that serotonin boost. Unfortunately, this can't count towards the current Amazing Readathon, and I could have technically counted it for nature on the cover, but the poll pick, so yeah, real shame, because I would have loved to have swapped these out just to be able to continue on with things that were helpful, but that's a-okay. So that's done. I think I was going to have to read like 9 pages of Girl in the Tower tomorrow to be at my page thing after doing Jade Legacy, so I might just try and see how much of Tooth and Claw I can get through. I am driving tomorrow, so my phone, oh no, it's a different work car. Shit. I don't know if it's got the same connectivity. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, yeah, I'll see. But maybe I might listen to that on the drive to and from work, because I'm driving to another clinic that's 45 minutes away. So there is potential, but I doubt it. I'm not very good at listening to audiobooks while I drive because, hi, my brain can't stay focused for that extended period of time on both labor brain intensive tasks. Oh dear. Yeah, that will be interesting tomorrow. So I'm hopefully gonna come home. I need to shower and wash my hair and just, you know, vibe. Don't know what we're doing for dinner tomorrow. I'll figure that out. But hopefully I can just chip away at this. So then I can get to What Moves the Dead, which I think is going to be the Suffer-a-thon winner. So thank you, Suffer-a-thon, for picking the right emojis. A very interesting train of thoughts. I feel like Jade Legacy for tomorrow is going to ramp up. I'm going to be reading up to chapter 45. Chapter 45 is very bad people. So anyway, we will see where I get up to. I might end up finishing Jade Legacy because I don't want to pick up Tooth and Claw. Who knows what my brain's gonna do. But I've got 3 hours left of Tooth and Claw. That is a hard ask. And I think I have 2 and a bit hours of 2 hours of Jade Legacy. So that's 5 hours of reading. If I start at 6, I'll be done by 11, which is, oh dear. This is gonna be interesting. Well, with that, I will go to bed and check in with you tomorrow. I just want to watch YouTube again, man. Maybe one day. Bye. Yeah, that's a look. I'm gonna make a tea. It's 10 to 6 on Friday, the 14th of June. Not happening. I'm gonna finish Jade Legacy. Jade Legacy actually won the Locus Award in 2022. So I'm gonna count that and just get through it. I can't believe it. I am not going to get through this tonight. There is no bloody way in hell that it is holy I am actually going to manage to do that. My goal is to get through today's section and start on tomorrow's and see. So what am I up to? I'm up to page 382. Oh, damn. If I could finish today's and tomorrow's sections, which is nearly 200 pages, that would be awesome. And then I just have a day and a bit to go tomorrow. So then I can do What Moves the Dead as my next city. And then I'll be part of Face Off. And I might actually potentially go on to the second book in What Moves the Dead so that I'm catching up with the series at the same time. So that's where I'm currently up to. I am so tired. I do have a lot of stuff on this weekend, so I doubt I'm gonna get much reading in on Saturday. So we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna go make that tea and catch you in a minute. I've made zero progress on my cross stitch. While listening to Jade Legacy, I could not. I'll get back into the swing of it eventually. See you later. Very emotional now.
Happens usually in the last book.
But it's the last.
Yeah, it's got to get all the emotions out.
Mother twacker.
Tie up the whole series and fucking tie up your emotions.
I got 153 pages to go. I don't think I'm gonna get that done tonight, but yeah, I've got 2.5 hours left. I want to keep reading because my hurt. It hurt. But I'm gonna go make dinner. Yeah, it hit a point where I was just like, I can't keep playing bingo. I gotta pay attention to what's happening. Ow!
Ah! Why did I pay attention?
Look!
My hurt!
My hurt! It does a hurty hurt. Well, I don't think I'm gonna survive this book. I is gonna be all in the emotions. Hello my darlings, it is now nearly 11 o'clock on the 15th of June and I worked today at the library, which was really fun working with the co-worker that I was on with, so that's always a grand time. I ended up reading 40 pages of Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden, which is keeping me up to date with my reading for Bookie Board, 49 pages. And then I read Helsing Volume 3 for Face Off Weekend. And then I read from page 520 to 664 of Jade Legacy. Ah! Hey, it matches my hair. That's so cool. Can we tell I'm deliriously tired? We also had a quite large day out after work. We went and saw my grandpa, which was super sweet. Then we went to go pick up Ash's second monitor from the depot. They were closed and had the wrong information, so we drove out there and then went, oh dear. But then we went to Officeworks and got him his dual mount, so he's been working on that all evening, getting his set up the way he wants it, so when we do end up getting the second screen, he can have that. I picked up some work stuff from Officeworks, so that was good. And then yeah, we just came home. It was quite late, so I needed to eat and then fiddled around for a little while and then dove into the reading. Obviously this is the vlog for Jade Legacy rather than the other two, so I won't go into too much detail, but The Girl in the Tower is definitely, probably should have read a recap for The Bear and the Nightingale, because I didn't overly click with The Bear and the Nightingale, so it's like, there's a lot of information I currently do not have retained in my noggin. This is going to be interesting. Helsing Volume 3 was really interesting. I don't know how I'm feeling about the series as a whole, because they're so quick and easy to read, and they're fun, but they're also borderline horrific. So, because it's a horror manga, like, the vampires in it are just like eating this guy neck and face, and he's being blown to smithereens with bullets and then just pulls himself back together.
Oh, you read number 3, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you see him bisect someone but in half?
Yeah.
And see his brain dripping down the side of his skull? Or is that in number 4?
That might be in number 4. I only had to read 3 this year. That was your challenge.
Well, that's good for you.
That is good for me. But I sort of want to keep reading them, but I have to balance it out because of my page goal. I would like to keep some balance.
Highly recommend to anyone who loves gore.
It is, yeah. So I'm curious as to where it's going, but I'm also
deeply horrified.
Slightly traumatized by the process. So that's where I'm sitting at for that. But I am 50 pages from the end, but I can't keep my eyes open. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that to myself. I'm just gonna come to it tomorrow, and I've got less than an hour on the audiobook where we're cruisy. And then I get to start What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, which I'm so excited for. Speaking of things that are gonna fuck with my page count, but just finishing this, and I'll be starting Shadowglass. I probably will start Shadowglass tomorrow because I would like to get ahead with this vlog reading. My mum might not be coming up on Monday, but she'll be up sometime in the week, so if I can just get that little bit ahead, that would be glorious. But holy mother of sweet lord, so much has happened. Obviously that was quite a significant chunk that I read. There was torture, which I think is so fascinating, but I'm so glad it wasn't done for longer. But they were, so Jade has a physical reaction to those that wear it, and there is the potential for them to go nuts through overexposure for a prolonged period of time or things like that, and they've got to be sensible about it. Well, they shoved them in a bath and then just tossed Jade on top of them. And it was like, damn! But the Jade was also the ransom for the sister-in-law, for the person that was being tortured. The No Peak clan paid the ransom for the Pillar's wife to be returned, and then they were like, the next step, we'll get Jade, the weatherman, back, and the Pillar's sister. I'll get them back, but we'll pay that ransom. And then they realize, like, no, they're actually probably going to kill her after they get the information that they want from her. So they paid Jade and gold, I think, to have when the Pillar's wife released, and then they were torturing the Pillar's sister with that jade. Like, that's some kind of level of fucked up shit that I really, really enjoy that detail. Like, I don't know, if you're gonna do it, just do it fucking right. And fondly, I was pissed at them because they saved someone's life at the end of the second one, and I was like, no, yeah. But it did have long-lasting repercussions for their actions in this one. But then in this one,
consequences for actions?
Yeah, what? And then
in a novel?
Hilo actually lived as well, and I'm just like, come on! You know how the guy that I was getting pissed with, he survived.
I mean,
I know! Not the cockroach guy, but the pillar guy.
Can't they kill a cockroach guy already?
No, they haven't. They haven't been able to, actually.
No, that's probably why, because it's a fucking cockroach. Fucking cockroaches.
Now that I think about it.
I hate fucking cockroaches.
Nico actually went and visited the cockroach after finding out information about who he was and realizing that it was the same person. He was like bragging. The cockroach dude was bragging. He killed Nico's dad. And he's like, so go on, kill me, like, come on, you know, and he's become an alcoholic and shit. And Nico's like, no, you don't deserve me to kill you. If you want to die so badly, fucking do it yourself. And so I don't think Barrow's gonna die. And I think everyone's gonna be pissed about that if they don't see that conversation. But I don't know, like, he could die in the next 50 pages. Who knows? One thing that I'm finding interesting about this is the progression of time, because the most recent chapter, the 26th year, the 10th month. So this is 26 years since the end of Jade War. And I just find the pacing interesting. I do enjoy seeing the characters actually get older and following them as they're older, but I'm also like, you've now hit a point where I don't know, I feel like time's sort of been over exaggerated as well. And I'm like, I don't know. But I understand, like, they've managed to tie it all together, and when they're referencing things, they're actually keeping the dates consistent, which is cool, because sometimes, you know, authors don't always nail that, and then it's like, yeah, this happened 16 years ago, but based off the timestamps in the books, it was actually 24 years ago, or what have you. But Fondelee's kept it on par, so that is nice. So Rue was the stone eye son of the pillar, and that was where I was getting really emotional in the last clip because he was killed. And Cockroach Man was there for that as well, as per usual. It was interesting seeing Rue's death, the Pillarman's son, how his death changed. And Hilo has been the bane of my existence throughout this entire time because he's just a misogynistic prick. I think he's finally starting to grow on me. I have 50 pages left with this fucker. So, we've been in for the long haul. I think because as he's gotten older, he's stopped acting so stupid. He is no longer, he's still driven by his emotions, but he has been able to listen to his advisors and keep it in check and funnel it in different ways. He still is very impulsive. He is now going and donating to charities that his kid was passionate about when he was alive, to say, like, I'm doing this for him, I'm trying to make him proud. But it's like, broski, it's a little too late. Your son's passed away, like, you should have been listening to him when he was alive. But isn't that always the case when you're in a position where you think that your kid's always going to be safe and next minute they're not? And seeing their grief as the family just, but they continue to grow from it. His sister is fucking a psycho ass bitch, and I love her. I think she's absolutely fabulous because she's just like, no, I'm gonna be the best woman fighter there fucking is. And I'm like, you go girl, you fucking show them who's boss. Interactions she's had because men just immediately undermine her because she's a woman and underestimate her abilities as a person. You know, she just uses that to her advantage, and I'm like, this is fucking glorious. So at the moment, we've just had the final disintegration of the major clan that isn't No Peak, the mountain, and I don't know where it's gonna go from here. So I don't know, I'm so scared because it's the end of the trilogy and I don't know if I want it all wrapped up with a bow or if I want some things left open, so we'll see. But I will definitely finish that off tomorrow and be able to let you know. But I'm gonna go because my battery's flashing at me and my eyes are refusing to stay open. So I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye! I'll be back. Hello. Are you slightly emotionally damaged? Damn. Yeah, yeah. We saw the de-evolution of my personality as we went. Fuck. That was such a good ending. The thing that made me lose my shit was at the end we get a cab driver talking to Andon, and Amy is gonna be pissed because that's Sparrow. Cockroach Man stays alive the entire time. He does not die. I really enjoyed how Fonda Lee wrapped up all the different family connections. Hilo sacrificing himself got to me, and I'm pissed that she managed to make me like a character I have really detested throughout most of the book. I'm happy that Andon and Wen both stay alive the rest of the fucking book, because we were paranoid that that was not going to be the case. Obviously we lost Rue in this and Hilo, but that's fine. We persevered. I am slightly emotionally traumatized from that, so that's good fun. I really appreciate Nico's perspective and how he's going to become Pillar, and the perfect combination of Lan and Hilo and Shay all in one, and then listening to his family and close connections to navigate everything. And just the way that when Hilo whispered for Marta to be killed and she had disappeared, and then it was this whole thing, and I was just like, oh my god, because Hilo understood. Hilo, I am Shay without a slither of a doubt. I will always give mercy, but Hilo knew that she was just a cold hard bitch and she was going to do everything in her power to make this happen, and it was a final gambit. So Shay got played and Hilo ultimately died because of it, but it was just done in a way that was so well done. I just am feeling all the feels. I'm feeling all the feels. Whilst the time jumps were a thing that I did struggle with, because I felt like we were losing growth in being able to see how low Sunshine storyline, see the development of the characters and how Janloon and all of the different countries are growing. It was so interesting seeing the technological revolution throughout as well, because they didn't have mobile phones or TVs at the beginning, and then by the end it is, and Nico was implementing IT things into the military, and the way that it became our modern day was just so well done, and I really appreciated that. That was interesting. I still feel like the pacing was a little off at some points, was why it was so hard for me to be able to be like, this is a new favorite of all time, this is my personality, because it's not. Just those moments where I was pulled out, or it was dragging, or I felt like we'd missed so much time with the characters that when we jump back into it, I'm like, okay. But I definitely appreciate to the way that we did progress throughout time to be able to get to the points that we did. I'm a little broken. I'm a little broken inside. Good fun. I need to go get ready and go get these taken off because they're chipping like nobody's business, and I'm not sure what I'm doing. So technically I don't need to start the Shadow Glass, which is the next book in this vlog, until the 17th, 18th, and it is Sunday the 16th of June at 10:30 in the morning, because I was just like, I just want to be emotionally traumatized this morning apparently. So yeah, I would be starting the Shadow Glass tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I will come back on today and have an update if I end up starting it earlier, because like I said, I do want to get ahead of my reading if Mum comes up tomorrow or on Wednesday, just to be that little bit ahead. And I will be reading another section of The Girl in the Tower and What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, because that will be my Amazing Race leg. I could fit some other things in, but I'd rather just get back to getting up to where we are for Amazing Readathon for the fantasy team to be able to keep going. Girl in the Tower and What Moves the Dead will be the main two priorities, and then I can potentially start Shadow Glass sometime in the near future. Whether that be today or tomorrow, I'm not sure. I can't believe I've finished the Greenbone Saga. Oh my god. Okay, bye! Hello my darlings. It is still the 16th of June, just. It's 11:30, and I just wanted to come on to say that I was so excited about my Pokemon switch out and then realized that it needs to be over 250 pages, so What Moves the Dead doesn't count. Girl in the Tower. It's an Ash. That was my fiance. Oh! I left my ring on the wooden block above the sink. Would you mind running and grabbing it for me?
Okay.
Thank you. If I do end up reading it in the next couple of days, cool. If I don't, oh well. I still have the pages marked out, but I have that up my sleeve, so yeah. Which means I just have to make sure I read. Hello.
Ring.
Ring. Ring, ring. Are you alive? Hi.
Hi. Here you go.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Yeah, I've got that up my sleeve. But I actually started Shadow Glass by Rin Shapeko, which I didn't think I was going to. And then I kept thinking, I want to read something, but the other option I had was Barbarian Lover or Full Metal Alchemist, and I wanted to do cross stitch, so I wanted to listen to an audiobook, and I realized I'm on a roll with high page count, whereas What Moves the Dead was smaller. So I'm like, I didn't want to read another short thing just for the sake of it, so I actually ended up picking it up and got 33% of the way through, which I think is about 160-ish pages, which I am deeply surprised by. The one thing about the Bone and Witch trilogy is I do recommend reading them with very little space between them, and or having a recap of the books before you go into the subsequent ones, because it does have that flow on of weaving throughout the different times, and just having that clarity of what area we're in makes it a bit easier to follow. Thankfully, I genuinely had such a good time with the second one that it still is up here, which is very surprising. There are very few books that I retain for longer than 12 months. I've got that going for it. And yeah, so 33% of the way in. And back in with the characters. The magic explanation and some of the character choices, it's a bit interesting in this series because we are going back and forth, and so it's hard to know where Tia's drive often lies, but we're starting to get a lot more answers to some things, and I think it is going to be quite an explosive ending, which I'm excited for. I do think it might have been a mistake reading it this quickly after Jade Legacy, because there is a lot of mention of heart glass being the substance that is so important in the world, similarly to Jade, and I think it's Keon that is where we're set or talking about in the heart glass, whereas it's Kakon for Jade Legacy. So my brain is just, I can see these having a little bit more overlap than I originally intended it to have. Whereas because Jade Legacy is a mafia fantasy and this is more like fantasy, I thought there would be enough distinction between the two rather than going to Empire of Gold. Also because I don't want to read two 700-page books back to back. So that's how we ended up in this situation. The audiobook's going well. I'm not reading along with it, I'm just listening to it, but I did get out the ebook from Libby, so I have that if I need to. And I'll flick through every so often to see where I'm up to. And so far we're just continuing to learn more about what the big bad is, how it all comes to be, and our protagonist has really just made an interesting choice while she was asleep. Yeah, don't know how she's going to come back from that one. I do want to talk spoilers because I think it would be quite interesting, but I also know that this isn't the most popular series. Empire of Gold, I'm happy to speak spoilers for, same as Jade Legacy. Like, these are book club books, so people are going to be reading them and up to this point in the series. But The Bone Witch is a little bit more of a, just not as popular. It's not as talked about. I don't think it's as been well received as either of the other series, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I won't go into too much detail about spoilers and the plot for The Bone Witch, just because it is more underrated. I am 2 seconds away from passing out because I've already took my sleeping meds an hour ago. As we can tell, my mother will be up tomorrow, which I'm so excited to be able to see her, but I don't know how much reading I'll get done. So one thing that is a positive, The Bone Witch, to be able to have it completed by and keep on track with Empire of Gold and it, I needed to be at 29% on the 18th, and it's currently the 16th. So I've given myself 2 days of wiggle room, but I would still like to just keep chipping away at it even when mum's around. So hopefully I'll be able to just get maybe an hour in. Might need to get up a little bit earlier or actually listen to stuff on my lunch break. So we'll see how that ends up, but I'll keep you updated as we go throughout this week. But I'm very excited to continue on this vlog, and yeah, I've had a really good start to this, and I was worried because it had been a decent amount of time that I wasn't going to remember or follow along with where we're at, because like I said, it's one of those series that you really do need to keep up with and keep in close proximity to reading the others, just so it sticks, because it's not the most linear storytelling. I just find it's better. And I did mean to read this at the end of last year, but just didn't get around to it. So I'm getting to it now, which is very exciting. So I'm going to love you and leave you and check in with you maybe tomorrow, depending on how my mother's feeling and if she wants to be on camera. Bye! Well, that was fun. Hello, my darlings. No mum, unfortunately, this time. I didn't end up reading Shadow Glass, and mum was recovering from a pretty gnarly cold, so she was not feeling the best anyway, so I didn't want her to feel obligated to be on camera or any of that sort of stuff. But I gotta get my read on. I ended up finishing The Girl in the Tower before the 21st, so I managed to get my legendary sword for Pokemon, but now I'm very behind on this challenge goal thing, as well as still reading the other things that I need to. Today's goal, shall I choose to accept it? Probably not, is to read 330 pages of The Shadow Glass and finish that. Read 40 pages of Empire of Gold and make some progress, if not finish Every Gift a Curse. I'm so fucked. I did film my TBR video this morning and then just finished doing the sit down bit now, hence this startup. Fucking hell. It will have already been out by the time you see this, but Cluedo chose fucking violence. Oh my god, heaven help me. I'm currently dealing with the mental repercussions of that, but I also had a fuck ton of freedom in picking my books, so that's always a delight. I'm just still Still reeling. I can't remember where we're up to for sprint. Damn, it was an hour sprint and it took me so long to film that section that I only have 10 minutes left, but that's okay. We can make do. We've got time. Let's have a look see. So Shadow Glass, looking at the audiobook length, I'm reading on 2.25 times speed at the moment and I'm finding it a little bit too slow for my brain, but also I need to just, it's okay, because I find it's too slow because I'm not getting through the books fast enough. But that is a mental hurdle I'm trying to break, because it doesn't matter how fast I read books as long as I'm enjoying them. So I've got 7 hours and 12 minutes left for Every Gift a Curse, and then whatever that is on 2.25 times speed. I need to figure out how to figure that out because it frustrates me that I can't do that math. And then Shadow Glass, I still feel like I'm a long way from the end. Audible tells me, and I love that. Libby, if you happen to ever watch this, if you could implement a system where it tells you how much you have left based on the actual reading speed that you've set it to, that would be great. But also Audible, if you're watching this, please for the love of God put how much time you actually have, how much percentage for both sides, because currently you just tell me how much I have left, which is great, but I also need where I'm up to percentage wise, please. So I have 4 hours. It's 4 o'clock. Okay, well, armed with that knowledge and utter concern, I need to go read. Fuck, what am I doing? I'll check in with you when I have an update for Shadow Glass. Hello my darlings, it is nearly 11:30 and I'm gonna go to bed. Oh my god, my nose is so red, what the fuck. Anyway, I finished The Shadow Glass by Rin Tripeco. I did mean to come in and give a vlog update at some point and then just cross-stitched and read till I had like an hour remaining and then just zoned out and, well, I zoned it into the book and just did it and finished it off. And I am pleasantly surprised. I'm giving it a 4.5. I've really enjoyed the conclusion to it, but the timelines that has been the whole thing throughout this series, that it's like, I really like what it's doing, but there were points where I was just like, okay, we've had enough of a reveal, we don't need to go back, can we please just stay in the present? I need answers. I was sad that my camera was in the study and not out with me in the living room because I was uploading all the previous vlog footage as well as my TBR files, and I just forgot about it because there was an actual moment where I was like, oh my god, and scared the bejesus out of Ash because he didn't know what was happening and there was really good reveals. I think one of the overarching mysteries is really well done, and I would not have thought the people involved were the people involved. So I was very happy to have that happen and go about it the way that it did. I know that this is a spoiler vlog, but I don't want to go into too much detail about this because it is such an underrated series, whereas Jade Legacy, that's my predominant focus. And Empire of Gold, which I'll be picking up tomorrow. I'm so nervous. It's another 700-page chonker, but I am happy that I got Shadow Glass up to date. So tomorrow's plan is I do need to edit, and then I'm gonna read 18%, I think, of Empire of Gold, work on my cross stitch, have a nice day with Ash, and try to make progress in Every Gift a Curse after finishing Empire of Gold. I might swap. But I've still got that to go and Wings of Ebony that I want to get done, and we still have more prompts being dropped for the Amazing Readathon. So I'm like, there are still many things. If Wings of Ebony can't fit, I'm not going to get to it. So I really want to finish some of the books that I have currently on the go, because I would love to finish On a Beautiful Day as well, which was my haul revisited for last month, and then Wings of Ebony this, and just get back up to speed on those, so then when I'm doing my mid-year check-in, I'm not behind, because I don't really feel like I am. It's just paused. I think I'll be able to catch up. Oh my god, we're only on leg 7. We still have 8, 9 and 10 to go. I might need to go for some shorter bookish peeps, I think. Please, for the love of God, Wings of Ebony work for the next prompt. That's all I need. And then, like, because I've just read Shadow Glass that didn't fit. So Every Gift a Curse is for leg 7. At least I made Jade Legacy fit. If the last 3 could get Empire of Gold, Wings of Ebony, and On a Beautiful Day, because I would really like to finish that, that'd be great. I'm going to go brush my teeth and go to bed. I've updated my online journals and feeling really proud of what I've accomplished today. One other thing I've been looking at is obviously my series, and I know that I'm starting a few this year because of Bookish Peeps and just general things, but I still have 3 others that I'm due to start for Bookish Peeps. So I'm sort of trying to finish off what I can, but I'm very proud. So I'm gonna bounce and go to bed, and I'll check in with you tomorrow. I apologise for the wind noise. So it is now 4 something on the 22nd, and I've gone for a walk to finish off every gift to curse because we've got the next prompt shop for Amazing Readathon. Oh good dear lord, I'm gonna have to get used to filming in front of my neighbours, especially for September. Ugh. Gone for my walk, finished that audiobook. I'm now walking home, and I'm gonna listen to YouTube, go home, make myself a cup of tea, and then I need to dive into Empire of Gold because I think I need to hit 18% of that, but oh my god. I'm very tired of reading right now, and I know I still have so much more to go, and I can get there, I can. I've also decided for the next leg of the race to read Physic by Angie Sage, which will get me a fuck ton of points because it's quite a chunky book, but that means I have to read that, but it is a middle grade, so it reads faster. So we'll see. Anyway, there are cars around. I'm awkward as shit. I will check in with you when I have another update, actually on Empire of Gold. Hello my darlings. It is now 11:30. I probably should have checked the date. I think it's the 22nd. And I did it! Well, close enough to. I got to 17% of Empire of Gold tonight, and I should have probably read a recap. I ended up speaking to Jacqueline from Jaxie Jax Reads for a bit before I started reading it, and I said, like, I enjoyed Kingdom of Copper, but I couldn't remember anything about it. And I read it in April. So the characters are coming back to me, and like the events of the last book are coming back in dribs and drabs, but I'm also very just like, yeah, it's been a while, so good fun. But I am enjoying where we're at. The character dynamics are really interesting, and we're in a particular place that I really enjoyed, so I'm very happy to be back there. And it's just so interesting seeing all the changes that have been made and where we're potentially going with this. It definitely is a lot larger of scope this time, and I'm curious to see how all of the magic goes and where everyone ends up. But it's so interesting seeing the characters come into themselves more, but also be dealing with a fuck ton of grief from the end of the second book, which was very explosive. And as I'm reading, I'm like, oh yeah, that was that. Very interesting in that regard. Like I said, when I was on my walk, I finished Every Gift to Curse, and I should have started reading Physic, but I just devoted tonight to working on my cross stitch and getting up to date with Empire of Gold. So the goal for tomorrow is go shopping and listen to my audiobook after work of Empire of Gold and try and get to the 30% mark, and then anytime I have left over, go into the other book. But I do also want to edit my TBR video and get that up. I did do half of it tonight, so it shouldn't be too bad tomorrow, but I'm also going to be cooking dinner, but that's nice and easy, so I'm not too worried. I gotta keep my ears in and not listen to YouTube. I can do it. It's late. I need to go to sleep. I genuinely can barely keep my eyes open. And I will check in with you when I have another update. It may be in a couple of days. It might be tomorrow. Just depending on how it all goes. Bye! Hello, my darlings. It is now 10 o'clock. And Ash and I are actually going to bed at like normal human hours. What is this? But I am gonna read for 20 minutes when I go in of Physic because I've read my section of Empire of Gold, and honestly this section went so quick. I don't know, it was still 12% and I'd been reading, actually no, that was definitely a slightly smaller chapter because the first one I read up to 17% and then it was 30 something. Oh my god. So I can't remember how it was pronounced, but like the water spirits and the crocodile guy, oh my god, and his like towards women was just ugh. But he was so fascinating in the way that he traveled through water. Just oh my god, amazing. I am very much at the point of, can you guys just smush your faces together already, because come on, you are obviously both like each other, just say it. And Dara is a very interesting character for me, so I genuinely can't remember how we got to know them in the first book, so I'm like what's too much of a spoiler and what's not. But oh my god, I'm very excited to see where his character shapes up, because planning things with, dear god, I need to remember to actually pay attention to these people's names. Ali's brother. It starts with an M. Their pairing or their planning is quite interesting. So I'm curious, I'm very, very curious. And I think because 42% is about 300 pages in, which, oh my God, it's starting to shape. We can see where things, well, I can't see where it's going, but there are things that are being introduced. We're moving, we're making that progress. So it's very interesting and I'm really, really enjoying it. But Ash and I are both dead on our feet today. So I'm gonna go finish off whatever 20 minutes of this will get me through, because I'm confident I'm gonna wake up to a new Amazing Readathon prompt for tomorrow and readathon video and so crunch time. So I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye. Hello my darlings. Oh, I didn't check in last night, but I read up to 55% of Empire of Gold. And the plot thickens. I don't know. I'm happy that we've rejoined Jump Shed with Nari and Ali, but I'm just like, oh, all the feelings. And then with Jump Shed being so lost, and then the way that he reacted finding out about his partner and revealing that he is gay, and then just the reconciling of that, but then finding out he's alive, and it was just a lot of emotions. So there was many emotions, but not cry-worthy, just dear God, these characters are going through it. I don't know how I feel about Ali's mum. I'm giving it a shift to side eye. I don't know. It's now 7:40 on the 27th, and I'm going to go sit in my chair and hopefully work on some cross stitch while listening to an audiobook. I have a sneaky suspicion I'm gonna play bingo and watch YouTube for the first little bit, because my brain is just dead to the world. But I did read an hour of physics this morning as well, so we're getting there. And we've had the next prompt drop for Amazing Readathon, so I know the next book that I'm gonna read, and I'm very excited to get to it. And I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying physics. It's one of those nostalgic middle grades that I've just really enjoyed. I don't think everyone's going to like it because it is a little bit an older middle grade fantasy, but it just has the right nostalgic vibes that I've been looking for. So happy with that. I'm gonna dive into reading my section of Kingdom of Copper, and or watching YouTube, and or playing bingo, and or taking a nap. It's been a big week and it's only Thursday. And then my practice manager came in on Tuesday, which is normally her work from home day, and so we're all thrown out of whack thinking that today was supposed to be Friday, but then she was there and we're like, why, where, who? Tomorrow is Friday and I'm so excited, and I managed to help one of my other team members that with a monumental task. So I'm like, yes, we're making progress, but also like, oh my God, that took too many brain cells that I don't currently possess. So yeah, I'm gonna go get snuggly and do a thing of some description. Yes. I was supposed to film and edit my readathon video. I don't have the spoons for that, so I have written up the spreadsheet. I'll film it tomorrow, hopefully be able to edit it tomorrow. If not, I'll edit it on Saturday and put it up, because it's still before the month ends. So, and the information's out there. I've sent out the playlist and put up the spreadsheet. I'm just having a quick little look-see. I need to get to 67% and finish off physics and the entirety of the next book, and then start on Wings of Ebony as well. She's not fucked at all. Bye! I did it! Hello my darlings! It is now the 30th of June at 10:20 in the evening, and I'm gonna go to bed early because I finished my reading for the month. I can't remember where I left off. I just know that this vlog has over 5 hours of footage, which why don't I edit as I go? Who knows? I have been doing Discord sprints on the Whodunit Readathon, and doing these dice sprints have been game changer for my reading this month. Honestly, wow, that really makes a lot of sense, because the last time I read this much was during COVID, when I was doing Twitter sprints for Sims Readathon. Text sprints are the best form for me, because I have read 5,540 pages, but I finished Empire of Gold, and I want to come on and I don't really have critical thoughts. That's not what we've ever been designed to do in this household. Stop laughing!
I don't have thoughts.
No, I took my sleeping meds an hour ago and they kick in within an hour or two, so Honestly, it's interesting because looking back on my ratings, I've given each of these final books in series 4.5s. I just think at the moment, these fantasy series in the trilogies, I just don't know what I want from the ending, so I settle on a 4.5 and it feels right. It doesn't feel like it's a 5-star. The only one that could possibly be argued is Jade Legacy because we had the whole discussion on it, but fuck Hilo and fuck feelings. But I'm thinking on why is it? Why do I give that the common rating? And for Empire of Gold, I nearly gave it a 4-star. I think I messaged Jacqueline and said I gave it a 4-star, whoops. But I'm giving it a 4.5. And that's more of a me problem than a book problem because I was not in the right space to read Kingdom of Copper when I did. So I had no memory of it going in, and that was a disconnect. I didn't feel invested going into this, so I didn't care. I couldn't remember who people were. I did by the end, I did by about 250 pages in out of this 766 page book, but that initial part of just going, who are you? Why am I supposed to care? It didn't have the same emotional impact it would with someone who has read the series back to back, was in the right frame and, you know, remembering everything. Whilst I don't recommend binge reading them because that is a lot of epic fantasy, I do think reading them in closer proximity to one another is ideal. And it's funny because Jade Legacy has the most amount of emotional impact, and that was the one that I read the closest together. Shadowglass, I read first and the second book close together, and then there was a lot of distance between the third. And then the David Bad series, I read book 1 a while ago, and then book 2 and book 3 within, I think it was April that I read it, so within 2 months of each other, but I haven't retained any of the second book, which is a shame because I really enjoyed this conclusion and I feel like it would have had it has the 5-star potential. I just wasn't in the right frame to read Kingdom, which led me into this with like a, yeah. Dara, oh my god, like I don't remember Dara from the first book at all. I got nothing. That is not there. And they were talking about things that happened when they first met, and I was like, this is ringing a faint church bell in the distance potentially. And the fact that I did have that emotional disconnect from the characters was why it wasn't a 5-star. Whereas with Jade Legacy, I was so emotionally invested in the characters, but the pacing was off, so that wasn't a 5-star. And then Shadowglass was just an interesting mix of, I really enjoyed the series, and but I don't think it's written as well. The quality of the writing isn't as strong. So it's so interesting just seeing how these 3 last books in trilogies have played out for me, but they all got the same rating just for different things. And I think it's also been cool being able to figure out why and how to articulate that, because zero thoughts. Because that's one thing I constantly question myself is, why am I rating the things that I'm rating it? It's more a gut feeling. It's not, I'm going to put it through Corepile or anything like that. I can't be fucked. No, that is too much energy for me. I just want to go off my gut, and they say a 4.5. I know that it's not quite a 5-star. And this is why. But then, you know, I'm a little bit more forgiving with middle grades or for romance, Katie, high, that sort of capacity. I'm definitely more lenient to give a 5-star because I'm not the target demographic for the middle grades, that's for sure. And if it's well done and I'm having fun and feeling emotions throughout, then solid. For romance, if I'm absolutely giggling and kicking my feet and then getting all hot and flustered, job well done. You know, it's just the different ways that it goes. But these 3 fantasy series were so good. And I recommend the trilogies themselves. Like, I definitely think the hardest one to find like the least amount of people will like it will probably be the Bone Witch trilogy, just because it is, I think, not the strongest writing wise, which I feel like a lot of people care for, and the characters are quite insufferable to begin with, but I quite like an insufferable character, so it works for me, but it's not going to work for everyone. I think that then the Greenbone Saga is going to be the next one, because the politics and the family dynamics are so just holy mother of sweet lord. it's hard to follow, and that would turn people off. And then I think the most amount of readership, and I think based off my impressions from BookTube, the David Bad trilogy will find its home in a lot of people's hearts because of the characters and because of the actual plot itself is quite interesting. The magic system, very awesome. So yeah, that's like what I think most people, the order that people would like them in. But for me, I really enjoyed all of them. The Green Bone Saga is a 5-star series for me. City of Brass, I struggle to say is a 5-star series because of my emotional disconnect, but it's still like an amazing series, and I do think a lot of people will find it as a 5-star series. And the Bone Witch trilogy is probably a 4-star series for me, but I've heard a lot of people not like it, so take it that what you will. Empire of Gold left me shook, but I also didn't have as much of an emotional response to it like Jade Legacy and The Shadow Glass. There were no tears shed. I don't think I even like teared up. I don't know. I think I felt like all of her characters were safe. I never felt the stakes. But, you know, you can always be surprised. And whereas with Fondly, I braced myself to be in pain. It's always a good time. Good time. I had a thought come into my head and then it just drifted straight on out. I hate when it does that. I just didn't have as much of a emotional or physical response in comparison to the other two, which is totally fine. I don't need to cry in every book that I read. I do enjoy it, especially when we're wrapping up a series, but I don't have to. Can't believe I finished the Amazing Readathon on top of this, and it's been a really interesting month. I think it's been a really good month in terms of my reading. I am hoping to once again dial it back next month, just whilst life is happening, but we shall see. And I'm really happy I got to do this vlog. I know I really only went into spoilers with Jade Legacy, but that was the main point. And for the other two, I'm just really glad that I've read them. I did also finish 3 other series this month, and I caught up on 1. So I can't wait to see how everything else shapes up. Man, I wish I had that thought back in my noggin. I did finish 1 other trilogy that I didn't intend on finishing, but I did. So, and that was a 4-star series, All Our Hidden Gifts series by Carolina Donahue. Had so much fun with the Amazing Readathon and plugging away at it. I also think for my reading recently, I've needed to set the daily percentage that I needed to read. So breaking down Jade Legacy, Shadow Glass, and Empire of Gold. Oh, that's right. I completely disregarded Empire of Gold for the past 2 days. I didn't touch it yesterday because I was just focusing on getting through Wings of Ebony for Amazing Readathon's final leg. So that's done, and then I could count Empire of Gold for a 500-point sightseeing book, and oh my god, that was so satisfying. Because I haven't been able to do any of the other sightseeing prompts, even though I have read, what was it, 14 books. So I could have counted another 3, but for the way that they fell, I was in between legs and just finished them and then moved on. But I had a really lovely reading month. So yay! You will have already seen that my wrap up haul, potentially 7 other videos by the time I manage to get my ass into gear and actually edit this. It might be coming out in August. Who knows? I don't. But with that, let me know in the comments, are there any series that you've really enjoyed the endings of that you think just nailed it? Or any 5-star series recommendations? I obviously am trying to keep a track on my series and working them down as much as humanly possible, but still wanting to read other things as well and starting new ones, especially for challenges. So we'll see how my series shakes up for the rest of the year, but I'm really proud of how this all went. So let me know any thoughts you have on series or any thoughts on the thoughts that I've had throughout this, and feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!